Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is May 9th, 2022, and yet again in the headlines on this date, the death of a black male. And if you guys have not read my first books, you can buy them. I've also made them free to download the ebook format. But the first book, Letters and Numbers, it has a chapter on the ritual killing and shaming of black males by the code of the numbers 59 and 42. And again, if you're new here, we talk about gematria, which comes from Kabbalah. There's a song out there called Gematria, the Killing Name. And again, gematria is the language of words into numbers. And the numbers 59 and 42 have a lot to do with Black history. They have a lot to do with Jesus, whose physical description in the Bible is that of a black man. And there's a reason that the same patterns persist again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And understand, if you do go and read the chapter on letters and numbers, I wrote that back in 2017. Since then, we've talked about hundreds of more examples. And as you'll see, as time goes on, the same things will happen again and 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 again. And if I'm saying it too many times and driving you nuts, the reason I'm saying it so many times is because it keeps happening like that. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's very frustrating that, we live in this age of information and almost nobody knows about this. Of course, big techs work very hard to censor my work because big tech is controlled by the same Jesuits who do this to black men and women and people of other races. Again, they ritually sacrifice people of all races, but nobody gets it worse than the black male. And again, to prove that the Jesuits are racist, just take a look at who they represent, the Catholic Church, and tell me out of the 266 popes, how many have been black? That's right. The answer is 0. And they're also the ones who invented white Jesus. They're also the ones that have made the Bible the book it is, a book of manipulations and falsehoods, but left some clues and elements of truth in it. And anyhow, Adreian Payne becomes the latest victim. Today, May 9th, his news is circulating. Wikipedia says he died May 9th. The news definitely broke today on May 9th, but from reading the story, it sounds like he actually died yesterday, May 8th, which also fits in. But again, it's no accident this story is coming 5/9. And I just want you to see how his name in gematria, Adreian Payne, as well as his full name, Adrian D'Angelo Payne, they have gematria 59 and 95. And of course, today is May 9th. The date can be written 5/9, or it can be written 9/5. And in Black history, Motown Records came out in 59. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. And just using the most simple cipher, again, if you're new here, Adreian Payne equals 59 when you take the alphabetic order and you apply the rules of numerology. So the way that would be is A is the first letter, so A is worth 1. D is the fourth letter, so D is worth 4. R is the 18th letter, but you don't add plus 18 for R in the cipher where his name equals 59. You take the numerology at 18. So 1 plus 8 becomes 9. So R becomes 9. E, the fifth letter, is 5. I, the ninth letter, is 9. A, the first letter, is 1. N, the 14th letter. If you're new here, what would you do with N, the 14th letter? What would 14 become? 1 plus 4 is 5. The 14th letter becomes 1 plus 4 is 5. So N is 5. P, the 16th letter, 1 plus 6 is 7. A, the first letter. Y, the 25th letter, becomes 2 plus 5 is 7. N becomes 5. E becomes 5. You add up all those letters, it equals 59. And his full name, doing the same thing as 95. Add the middle name, D'Angelo, 95. We're going to talk about where that fits in with Tom Izzo being on 666 wins right now as the coach of Michigan State. But if you just use the alphabetic order and you don't use numerology, you just N's 14, E's 5, G's 7, R's 18, O's 15, just using the alphabetic order. Negro's 59. Add up the letters of slave. S is 19, L's 12, A's 1, V's 22, E's 5, slave 59, Rasta 59, blues 59. These numbers stamped on Black history. Obama, his Secret Service name. A couple of years ago, Obama was the top story on this day. Obama was saying the virus response was a chaotic disaster. His Secret Service name, Obama, was Renegade, which is another 59. The emphasis on the word chaotic, 59, and disaster, 95. I mean, it's like the same thing, right? This is 2 years ago's headline. And You might recall that what was buzzing in the news, he died May 8th, and it was buzzing all day on May 9th. The Motown CEO was dead at 59, and again, Motown was established in 59, and in case you forgot this one, it was announced at Club Quarantine that he died at 59, where Club Quarantine's also 59. In reverse, it's a little bit different. It's 85, and he died on 8/5. And it was Derek Jones who announced the death of the CEO at 59. But again, this stuff's not an accident. And by the way, Derek Jones is 59 forward, 76 in reverse. The other half of this code just running the alphabetic order in reverse. But notice how in reverse, Negro, Slave, Blues, Rasta, they're all 76. The Million Man March on the day, leaving 76 days left in the year. Barack Obama equals 76. Again, his Secret Service name, Renegade, 59. His book, A Promised Land, equals 59 forward, 76 in reverse. It's in tribute to Acts 7:6, the 44th book of the Bible. His book came out on the day, leaving 44 days left in the year. He was number 44. Again, the 44th book of the Bible, Acts 7:6, is about 400 years of slavery. And then the nation getting punished after those 400 years. 400 years of slavery in America hit August 2019. Right after that came COVID-19, and the U.S. was the hardest hit. Anyhow, coming back to the death of the man right now. And by the way, 2 years ago on this day, Little Richard died. Little Richard died on May 9th. Oh, by the way, Bad Boy Records is 59 and 76. A lot of suspicious deaths on that record label. R.I.P. to Marvin Gaye, the Prince of Motown. Don't forget about the Rodney King beating. But don't I have it somewhere here in this post? Or maybe this is the wrong post. But Little Richard died the other year on May 9th as well. What did I do with the post? Little Richard died May 9th the other year. Might have pulled up the wrong post. Oh, here it is. Little Richard died on May 9th at age 87. His birth name, Richard Pennyman, 87. That's how it goes. Year after year. But coming back to the basketball player. So this news is circulating today, May 9th, right? He played his college basketball at Michigan State, which equals 129. The news is circulating on the 129th day of the year. And the story is that he was shot yesterday. They said he died after being taken to the hospital. So I don't know if it says he was shot early Sunday morning. So that means he was shot early May 8th and then died at the hospital after his injuries. I don't know if he died after being there for most of the day and then died early today, May 9th, because it's conflicted right now. Some places are saying he died Sunday. Some places are saying he died today, May 9th. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you how it all comes together. If today leaves 236 days left in the year, May 9th, and he was shot yesterday, May 8th, that means he was shot on the day leaving 237 days left in the year. Those are the prime factors of 42. 2 times 3 times 7, 42. Again, slavery, the N-word, and a whole bunch of other words that deal with Black history equal 42, including February Black History Month, which ends on the 59th day of the year. But notice how Michigan State Spartans is 237 and basketball's 85, and he was shot on the 8th day of the 5th month. And keep in mind, he wore the number 5 at Michigan State. He wore the number 5. But again, shot on the day leaving 237 days left in the year. On a date 8-5, basketball player, a man who was drafted into the NBA and played for Atlanta. He was drafted 15th overall to Atlanta. Atlanta equals 15, 1,015 rituals with the city of Atlanta. Very consistent number with Rig Sports in Atlanta. But he was shot 78 days after his birthday. And Sunday and Jesuit both equal 78. Again, it's the Jesuits behind all of these rituals. The other year we were talking about the death of John Thompson, the Georgetown coach, the first Black coach to win the college basketball championship. He died at age 78 in Italy, where the Jesuits are, on a 78 date numerology, August 30th, 2020. And I want you to see something about Sunday and Jesuit in Gematria. Again, there's 4 base ciphers, alphabetic order forwards with numerology, and then in reverse, also with numerology. But Sunday and Jesuit are the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. John Thompson won the championship for Jesuit Georgetown in 84, first Black coach to do it, then ends up dying on a Sunday at age 78, unexpectedly while on vacation in Italy on a 78 date numerology. And just notice how Jesuit and Sunday, the exact same in all 3 ciphers. And And by the way, Jesuits got the 42 in it as well, just like Georgetown's 42. That's who stamped 42 all over Black history. They're the Society of Jesus, and they love to kill black men by the Jesus numbers when New Testament equals 42, and it starts with the 42 generations to Jesus. And then in septenary gematria, Jesus Christ is 59. That's where they get the 59 part at. But he was shot 78 days after his birthday. You could also say he was shot on his 79th day of his age. The news breaks today 79 days after his birthday, or what would be his 80th day of his age. Murder is 79, and for the record, so is Society of Jesus. Society of Jesus is 79, and Yeshua, truer name for Jesus, is also 79. And with regard to it being his 80th day of his age that the news breaks, the shooter's name, Lawrence Doherty, equals 80. But again, I mean, it's just, I mean, how many more times can I teach the same lesson? I mean, I've been teaching the same lesson since 2013 over and over and over. You know, the first time I ever gave this lesson was the Michael Brown shooter, why they had him come out with a Blues jersey with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. He had a Blues jersey with the number 42 on it. Darren Wilson, here, I'll show you the shirt. Darren Wilson Blues shirt, St. Louis Blues. Oh, you know, I figured this out after the Michael Brown shooting. I learned gematria in 2013, and it was about after a year of studying this, the Michael Brown shooting happened, and then that's when I put it together with everything I'd been looking at with 42 and 59 in Black history. But I mean, just look at it, 42 Blues, right? And not to mention that shooting was in Ferguson, which equals 42, and so does Missouri 42, and again Blues 59, and you know, it's just the way they bring these numbers together is just nonstop. It's all the time. Again, the man who's shot, who's in the news on 5/9, shot on the day leaving 237 days left in the year. We've made this point many times before. That is the prime factorization of 42. That's an important mathematical connection to 42. 2 times 3 times 7, 42. None of those numbers can be divided. That's why they're the prime numbers. Prime numbers cannot be divided except by one of themselves. The prime factorization of 42. And notice he was drafted, 15th pick by Atlanta. It's helpful to know this stuff because you can take advantage of rig sports. I can't tell you how many times they rigged that number with Atlanta. Just last week, there was a headline about like a bicycle type crash that hurt 15 people in Atlanta. It's just like, come on, man. Rig the sports games, make up the news, same numbers over and over. But in this case, he was drafted to the NBA to Atlanta with the 15th pick. And here's the thing about the news coming on a date that can be written 9-5 with his whole full name equaling 95, like we just talked about. Izzo, who started coaching Michigan State in 95, he's on 666 career wins right now. And when you write out 666, it equals 95. If you didn't know this, 95 weeks in a day is 666 days is 95 weeks in a day. 95 weeks in a day is 666 days. But when you write out 666, it's 95. Blue Devils equals 666 in Sumerian gematria. Izzo stayed on 666 wins, losing to the Blue Devils in the tournament. Pretty easy call. Blue Devils to the Final Four made way too much sense. But yeah, again, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've given this lesson. If you went through my old blog post, Free to Find Truth and Gematria Effect News, I mean, there's like a million posts about rituals of dead black men. It happens to women too. Here, let me show you what they did to old Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, who died in Detroit, where Motown came out. Notice she died October 24th, 2005. 10 plus 24 plus 20 plus 05, the way you add it up for the date numerology is 59. And notice her birthday, February 4th. February equals 42. That date can be written 4/2. She's born in Tuskegee, Alabama. And, of course, Tuskegee's got the 42 on it. It's like slavery does, just like Martin does, again, who lives in apartment number 42. Malcolm X 42, Huxtable 42, Cosby Show 42. February again, 42. There's only 2 months that have a 42 connection. February. When I first started the study, I didn't know reverse gematria, so I thought there was only 1 month that had a 42 connection, and it was Black History Month. But the other month that has a 42 connection is this month, May. May's 42. And it's the fifth month. And it's interesting that when you write out five, it also equals 42. And the man we're talking about wore the number five for Michigan State and got shot on the day leaving 237 days left in the year. 2 times 3 times 7, 42. So right after the streak of the so we had 2 years ago at this time, something happened last year on this day, but I forget. But I remember 2 years ago better because you back to back to back days, you had the death of a black celebrity. You had the Motown CEO at 59, then you had Little Richard on 59, and then the next day Betty Wright died, and that wasn't her birth name, but that was her singing name, and you can see why they called her Betty Wright because it had the 59 encoded, and she also died 140 days after her birthday. Notice how Betty Wright's also 140. See how they do that? Um, yeah, there's even more to it, but anyhow, we'll keep it short and sweet so more people watch it. RIP to this man. And again, thank you to everyone who spreads the work. For all you guys waiting to hear back on the Simon Dan debate, I think he might have chickened out again because it's been silence for a week. If you guys don't know who that is, don't worry about it. He has a big channel, but you know, he's been saying gematria is stupid, but then I challenge him and then he goes quiet and he says he wants to debate and then he doesn't want to debate. But again, if we do debate, he's definitely going to lose. And the reason why is because all the evidence just stacks by the day. So, I mean, anyone who thinks this stuff's a coincidence is part of the problem. So, I also want to send a shout out to a channel that he doesn't really ever interact with our community, but he definitely learned the work. And, sometimes he gives a shout out in his own videos. But if you guys don't know about this, he's a young black man as well. Call me kinfolk. And, he just did a recent video on the death of Kevin Samuels. And, he's sharing pretty much the same information I did in my decode. But he does a really good he's really good at presenting the information and good with the visuals. So if you guys aren't following, call me kinfolk. He is another person in the gematria community doing good work. Shout out to Itachi Decodes. He posted on Twitter this morning. He said there will be a black person dead in the headlines today. And Itachi's been following since Kobe Bryant's death. Let's not forget that let's not forget how they coded 59 on Kobe. Black Mamba's 59. And, Michael Jordan, he's got the 59, 76. Muhammad Ali, Ali's got the 59 in it. And by the way, Muhammad Ali's 42, so 201. Reminding you who put the stamp on him. That's the Jesuits. But, yeah, there's a lot of good people. Make sure you're following the other people in the community doing the work, the Kayla Decode Talkers, the Chigozi Truths, etc. And yeah, I mean, for those of you guys who don't want to share this with people because you get ridicule, I got to tell you, that's the wrong attitude. You got to share it anyway. Don't worry about the ridicule. The people who ridicule you, you know what they are? You know what you find out about when you get ridiculed by people? You find out that they're swine. And the thing is, if you present this information appropriately, you probably won't get much ridicule. I was just in Oklahoma City and explained it to all kinds of strangers on the streets in a city I've never been to before. I didn't get any ridicule from a single person. See, most people took to it and understood it. A lot of people want to know where they get more information, find the work online, find the books. So again, you explain it, with the right energy, with the plethora of examples that are out there. And again, all of you guys can download my ebooks. Like if you need help, download the ebook, have it on your phone, download it to your phone, scroll to the chapter on, murder by numbers. There's a chapter on murder by numbers, all people, but there's one for black people as well, just talking about this 5942 thing. And, tons of examples in there and go through the blog post, go through the videos. If I just did a book on the murder of black people in 59 and 42, it'd be a really long book from everything that I've been documenting for 9 years. So there's no way this is a coincidence. And it's not always just murder. Sometimes it's just ritual shaming, creating stereotypes, Black athlete beats his girlfriend, black athlete arrested with drugs, black athlete exposing himself in public. I mean, it's the same stuff over and over, same numbers. It's like, okay, well, today they weren't actually assassinated. Today it's just character assassination. So, anyhow, we'll leave it there for now. And again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Thanks to everyone who hit the like and the share. And until next time.